The doorbell rang at midnight, shattering the quiet of our suburban Chicago home. I opened it to find my dad's best friend, Mark, soaked from the rain, his eyes bloodshot and desperate. "Alex, I can't do this anymore," he whispered, pulling me into a hug that crossed every line I'd ever known, his lips brushing my ear as he confessed feelings that would destroy everything. I froze in the doorway, the weight of his words crashing over me like the storm outside. Mark had been like an uncle to me since I was a kid. Trips to Wrigley Field, advice on college apps, the guy my conservative dad trusted more than anyone. But here he was, 45 and married, admitting he'd been in love with me for years, ever since I came out as gay at 18. Now, at 22, fresh out of Northwestern with a journalism degree, I was supposed to be starting my life, not unraveling it. Dad was asleep upstairs, oblivious, his snores faintly audible through the ceiling. Mom had passed 5 years ago from cancer, leaving just us two in this big house filled with her memories. Mark's wife, Sarah, was probably at home wondering where he was after their latest fight. "We can't," I said, pushing him back gently, my heart pounding. But his eyes, those piercing blue ones that had always seen through my facades, held me captive. "Alex, please. I've buried this for so long. Your dad. He'd kill me. But I can't pretend anymore." We stepped inside, closing the door softly against the wind. The living room was dim, lit only by the glow from the kitchen. I led him to the couch where family photos stared down at us. Me at prom with my high school boyfriend, Dad and Mark at a fishing trip, all smiles. "What happened tonight?" I asked, handing him a towel. He wiped his face, his broad shoulders slumping. "Sarah found my journal. Entries about you. She kicked me out, said she's filing for divorce. I drove straight here because you're the only one who gets it." Gets it? I barely got myself. Coming out to Dad had been a nightmare. Yelling Bible quotes, threats to cut me off. He'd softened over time, but only because Mom begged him on her deathbed. Now this, Mark was straight, or so I thought. He'd been Dad's army buddy from the Gulf War, the epitome of Midwestern masculinity. Flannel shirts, pickup truck, church on Sundays. But as he talked, pieces fell into place. Lingering glances at barbecues, extra help with my car, the way he defended me when Dad called my sexuality a phase. "I fought it, Alex. Joined the military to prove I was a man. Married Sarah because that's what you do. But meeting you, it woke something up." His voice cracked, and I felt a pull, a dangerous empathy. I'd crushed on him as a teen, dismissed it as hero worship. Now, at 22, I saw the man behind the mask. Vulnerable, trapped in a life of expectations. But pursuing this? It would betray Dad, shatter friendships, invite judgment from our tight-knit community where being gay was tolerated but not celebrated. The clock ticked toward 1 a.m. I made coffee, stalling. "You need to go home, talk to Sarah." He shook his head. "She knows everything." Called me a predator. That word stung. Was he? The age gap was 23 years, me just starting out, him midlife crisis. Society would label it wrong, predatory even. But his confession felt genuine, born of years of repression. "Stay on the couch tonight," I said finally. "We'll figure it out in the morning." As I headed upstairs, doubt gnawed at me. What if Dad woke up? What if this was the spark that ignited the powder keg of our family's fragile peace? Lying in bed, I replayed the hug, the whisper. It wasn't just shock. There was a thrill, a forbidden connection. But at what cost? Sleep evaded me, the rain pounding like accusations. Morning came too soon. Dad was up at dawn, brewing coffee, his routine unyielding. I heard voices downstairs. Dad's surprise, Mark's mumbled explanation about a fight with Sarah. "Crash here anytime, buddy," Dad said, clapping him on the back. I descended, forcing a smile. "Morning." Our eyes met, Mark's filled with unspoken pleas. Breakfast was tense small talk. Cubs' latest loss, my job hunt at the Tribune. Under the table, Mark's foot brushed mine. Accidental? Intentional? I jerked away, heart racing. After Dad left for his construction job, Mark cornered me in the kitchen. Last night wasn't a mistake. I meant it. I backed against the counter. This could ruin everything. Dad idolizes you. He nodded, pain etching his face. I know. But living a lie is ruining me. We talked for hours. His suppressed desires from youth, crushes on comrades buried under machismo. My own struggles. Failed relationships, fear of never finding acceptance. A bond formed, fragile and electric. By afternoon, Sarah called, furious. Tell Mark to come get his stuff. I handed him the phone, listening to the yelling. He hung up, defeated. It's over. Part of me ached for him. Another part screamed warning. You can stay a few days, I offered against better judgment. Dad would understand a marital spat, not the truth. That evening, Dad grilled steaks, the three of us around the table like old times. But tension simmered. Mark's glances, my averted eyes. Dad sensed something. You two okay? Look like you've seen a ghost. We laughed it off. Later, alone with Mark on the porch, stars above, he took my hand. Give us a chance. Pulled away. It's impossible. But doubt crept in. What if it wasn't? Days blurred. Mark helped with chores, we shared stories. Attraction grew, subtle touches igniting sparks. Yet guilt loomed, betraying Dad, exploiting vulnerability. One night, Dad confronted me. Mark's acting weird. Spill. I lied. Just divorce stress. He bought it, but suspicion lingered. Then, the turning point. Sarah showed up, banging on the door. I know he's here with your son. Dad's face paled. Chaos erupted, accusations, denials. Mark admitted partial truth. Feelings for men. Dad exploded. Get out. Both of you. I defended Mark, revealing too much. Dad's hurt eyes. My own son. We left together, crashing at a motel. This is the price, Mark said. Freedom tasted bitter, laced with loss. What had we done? The motel room smelled of stale cigarettes and regret, its neon sign flickering through thin curtains. Mark paced, his phone buzzing with ignored calls from Dad. We should have handled this better, I muttered, sinking onto the lumpy bed. At 22, I'd never felt so adrift. Jobless, homeless in my own city, all because of a confession that snowballed into exile. Mark stopped, facing me. Alex, I didn't plan this, but now that it's out, maybe it's for the best. Best? My mind reeled. Dad's voice echoed from earlier. You're dead to me if this is true. Years of tentative acceptance shattered in one blow. Mom's absence hit harder. She'd have mediated, reminded Dad of love over judgment. We talked through the night, dissecting the fallout. Mark's marriage. 20 years of facade, kids grown and distant. I stayed for them for appearances. Small-town Illinois doesn't forgive this. My own life. Closeted in high school, out in college, but always tiptoeing around Dad's conservative views. Church friends whispering, job interviews where I hid my truth. Now exposed. Morning brought decisions. I need space, I said. Mark nodded, hurt but understanding. He drove me to my friend Jamie's apartment in Wrigleyville. Jamie, my college roommate and fellow gay man, hugged me tight. Dude, this is heavy. Your dad's best friend? That's like a soap opera. I crashed on his couch, job hunting furiously while fielding texts from cousins. What's going on? Uncle's raging. Mark checked into a hotel. Job as a mechanic secure but life upended. We met secretly, coffee shops, parks, building something amid ruins. His touch, once forbidden, now comforting. But doubts festered. Was this love or rebound? Age gap loomed. He remembered Reagan. I barely recalled 9/11. Society's gaze. Predatory older man, naive youth. Dad called once, voice breaking. Come home, son. Without him. I refused. He's not the villain, Dad. Neither am I. Silence, then hang up. Isolation set in. Friends supportive but distant. Family radio silent. Mark's ex, Sarah, spread rumors. Affair, homewrecker. Our community buzzed. Judgmental eyes at the grocery store. Weeks passed. I landed a freelance gig at a local paper, writing about LGBTQ issues ironically. Mark attended therapy, unpacking decades of denial. We dated cautiously, dinners, walks along Lake Michigan. Intimacy emotional, not physical. Boundaries respected amid turmoil. But tension built. His guilt over betraying Dad. My anger at lost family. Then, confrontation. Dad showed up at Jamie's, face etched with pain. Let's talk. We sat in a diner, coffee cooling. Mark was like a brother. How could he? I explained. Mutual feelings, no predation. Dad listened, tears welling. I raised you right. It's wrong. Bible verses followed, but softer. Mom would want unity. I pushed back. Love isn't wrong, Dad. Hiding is. He left unresolved, but a crack formed. Mark and I argued that night. Maybe end this, he said. For your sake. I refused. We've paid too much to quit. But the cost mounted. Mark lost clients. I faced online hate after an article mentioned my story vaguely. Highs mixed with lows. A weekend in Milwaukee, anonymous freedom. Laughter, shared dreams. Back home, reality bit. Sarah filed, demanding alimony. Mark's savings dwindled. I took a second job bartending, exhaustion creeping. Family gathering loomed. Cousin's wedding. Invited sans Mark. I went alone, facing whispers. Dad approached. Miss you. Hugs. Tentative peace. But no mention of Mark. Betrayal stung, choosing family over love. Mark waited at the hotel. How was it? I broke down. They pretend you don't exist. He held me. This is our reality. Decisions weighed. Fight or fold. Months in, a breakthrough. Dad invited me for dinner. Alone. I've been thinking. Stories of his youth. Lost friends to AIDS, buried prejudices. I don't understand, but I love you. No acceptance of Mark, but a start. Yet shadows lingered. Mark's depression deepened. Therapy revealing childhood trauma. I questioned. Was I savior or enabler? Society's narrative. A moral choice. But our bond strengthened. Forged in fire. Then, twist. Sarah reconciled partially for kids. Mark torn. They need me. I urged honesty. Choose truth. He did, coming out fully. Backlash. Job loss. Shunning. We moved in together. A small apartment in Boys Town. Freedom but scarred. Dad visited once. Awkward. Progress slow. The price. Fractured bonds. Self-doubt. Was it worth it? Our new apartment in Boys Town buzzed with life. Rainbow flags waving outside. Neighbors waving hello without judgment. But inside, cracks showed. Mark, unemployed, scoured listings, his confidence eroded. I'm too old for this, he'd say, staring at the ceiling. At 45, reinventing felt impossible. At 22, I pushed forward, my journalism career budding with pieces on queer rights. Mornings started with coffee and tension. Dad called, I'd say. Mark's face would tighten. What did he want? Reconciliation efforts. Dad attending PFLAG meetings, learning. But Mark remained the elephant, betrayer in Dad's eyes. Give him time, I urged. Mark nodded, but resentment brewed. He was my friend first. Social pressures mounted. Friends divided. Some cheered our brave love. Others whispered, inappropriate. Online forums debated. Ethical? Consensual adults, yes, but power dynamics? Age, history complicated it. I defended us in articles anonymized, sparking backlash. Hate mail, disgusting groomer, chipped at my resolve. Mark found work at a garage, lower pay, longer hours. Exhaustion led to fights. You're young, Alex. You could have anyone. Insecurity flared. Is that what you want? Me to leave? No, but doubt seeded. What if this was trauma bonding, not love? Family drama escalated. Sister-in-law's baby shower. Invited, +1 omitted. I declined. Dad pleaded. Family first. I snapped. Mark is family now. Silence. Choices hurt, missing milestones for principle. Then betrayal's shadow. Mark reconnected with old army pals online. One night, scrolling his phone, trust issues brewing, I saw messages. Flirtatious, from a guy named Tom. Missed those days. Heart sank. Confrontation. Just talking. Harmless. But harmless? After appending lives? We argued fiercely. You've got freedom now. Why risk it? Tears flowed. I'm scared, Alex. This is new. Vulnerability exposed. His first real gay relationship, navigating uncharted waters. Forgiveness came hard, but I chose it, echoing our start. Therapy helped. Couple sessions unpacked baggage. My abandonment fears from mom's death. His internalized homophobia. Progress. Open communication. Rebuilt trust. Society's mirror reflected harsh. Pride parade we marched, hands linked. Cheers mixed with jeers. A protester yelled, "Pervert!" Mark flinched, old wounds reopening. Later, debriefing, "Worth it," we affirmed, but scars deepened. Dad's olive branch. Dinner invite, including Mark. Nervous, we went. Table set for 3. Awkward hellos. Dad, let's clear air. Stories shared, war buddies bond, my childhood. Mark apologized. I never meant to hurt you. Dad listened, voice steady. You did. But Alex loves you. That's something. No full forgiveness, but tolerance. High faded. Mark's health scare. Chest pains, stress-induced. Hospital visit. Me by bedside. Dad showing up. For Alex. Moments of unity amid fear. Recovery slow. Mark reflecting. Life's short. No regrets. But regrets lingered. My career stalled. Editors wary of controversial writer. I pivoted to advocacy, lower pay. Trade-offs. Authenticity over stability. Climax built. Community event. Panel on LGBTQ elders. Mark spoke, sharing story. Applause, but Dad in audience, unannounced. Post-event. Hug. Proud of you both. Breakthrough. Not quite. Backlash from conservatives. Petitions against Mark's influence. Job threatened again. We fought back, petitions of support. Personal toll. Isolation from extended family. Holidays alone, creating new traditions. Bittersweet. Love deepened. Tested. A quiet evening. Marry me? Mark asked. Shock. Someday. But readiness? Doubts. The price. Emotional exhaustion. Lost connections. Yet, growth. Self-acceptance. Resilience. Was the pain justified? Winter in Chicago bit hard. Snow blanketing our apartment like unspoken regrets. Mark's proposal hung in the air, unanswered. Take time, he said, but pressure mounted. Society expecting commitment after chaos. At 22, marriage felt distant. At 45, Mark craved stability. Daily life ground on. My advocacy work intensified. Speaking at events, writing op-eds on age gap relationships in queer communities. Backlash fierce, accusations of promoting unhealthy dynamics. Supporters countered. Love knows no age. Debates raged online, mirroring my inner turmoil. Dad's tentative acceptance wavered. Phone calls. He's too old for you. I defended. Age isn't everything. But seeds of doubt planted. Family therapy suggested, but Dad refused. Pray about it. Mark's ex-family dynamics complicated. Kids, college-aged, reached out sporadically. Daughter Emily. Dad, are you happy? Tearful calls. Son Jake. Radio silence. Hurt by the betrayal. Mark's guilt. I abandoned them. I reassured, but resentment simmered. His past pulling him back. Turning point. Jake showed up angry. You stole my dad. Fists clenched. Mark calmed him. I love Alex. But I love you too. Revelations. Jake's own struggles with identity. Am I like you? Vulnerability bridged gaps. We talked hours, tears flowing. Jake left softer, promising contact. But victories short-lived. Professional setback. My editor pulled a piece, citing controversy. Frustration boiled. This is discrimination. Lawsuit considered, but resources scarce. Mark supported. Fight. We did. Rallying community. Social conflicts peaked at a fundraiser. Old friends from Dad's circle attended. Whispers. Shameful. Confrontation. One accused Mark of corrupting me. Fists nearly flew. We left. Shaken. Is this our life? Constant battle? Introspection followed. Alone walks along the frozen lake, questioning choices. Love real but sustainable? Mark's aging, health issues recurring. My youth. Opportunities missed? Reconciliation attempt. Holiday dinner at Dad's. Mark included. Tense but civil. Gifts exchanged, stories shared. Dad. Seeing you happy. It's hard. But okay. Progress. Yet betrayal struck. Mark confessed brief online affair during a low. Emotional, not physical. Devastation. After everything? Trust shattered. I left, crashing at Jamie's again. Weeks apart, reflection. Mark's apologies endless. Therapy, his fear of loss driving sabotage. My patterns, attracting drama. Decision, forgive with boundaries. Reunion emotional. We rebuild. Highs returned, trip to New York, anonymous bliss. Broadway shows, Central Park walks. Renewed vows. Back home, society pushed back. Legislation. Anti-LGBTQ bills in Illinois. We protested. Voices united. Personal growth. I published a book outline on our story. Interest peaked. But costs accumulated. Emotional drain. Financial strain. Dad's health declined. Stress-related. Guilt. Did we cause it? Climax. Hospital visit. Dad weak. Forgive me, son. Tears. And Mark. Tell him sorry. Healing moment. Release. Dad recovered. Bonds mended slowly. Our love, tested, enduring. But at what price? Spring thawed Chicago, mirroring our thawing relationships. Dad's hospital scare prompted change. Weekly dinners, open talks. I was wrong, he admitted. Mark, forgiven gradually, included more. Career rebound. My book deal signed. Shattered secrets. A gay awakening. Vulnerability on pages. Therapeutic. Mark proud. Contributing chapters. But shadows persisted. Public scrutiny. Interviews probing ethics. Predatory? I countered. Consensual adults. Debates fueled sales but exhausted. Family full circle. Jake came out seeking advice. How'd you do it? Mark mentored, bond strengthening. Emily visited, accepting. Social awakening. Volunteering at LGBTQ centers. Helping others navigate coming out. Age gaps. Family rejection. Purpose found. Yet internal conflicts raged. Mark's midlife. Am I holding you back? My reassurance. No. But whispers of doubt. Moral dilemmas. Was our start ethical? Hiding from Dad, deception. Consequences. Pain inflicted. High tension. Book launch party. Dad attended. Speech. Proud of my son. Applause. Mark beamed. Post-event. Confrontation. Sarah crashed. Bitter. You ruined my life. Yelling, security called. Reminder of collateral damage. Reflection. Choices ripples. Her pain valid, our happiness tainted. Decisions loomed. Marriage? We discussed. Yes. I said finally. Small ceremony planned, intimate. But twist. Dad offered to walk me down aisle. If you'll have me. Tears. Preparation, venue, rings. Excitement mixed with anxiety. Society's judgment. Media coverage, mixed reactions. Wedding day. Sunny, Lake Michigan backdrop. Vows exchanged. Promises of fidelity amid trials. Honeymoon. California. Beaches. Freedom. Return, normalcy. Job stable, family united. But awakening. Not all fairy tales. Ongoing therapy, communication key. The price paid. Years of turmoil, but growth immense. Was it right? Post-wedding bliss faded into routine, but strengthened by trials. Our Boys Town home became a haven, filled with laughter and shared dreams. Mark's garage thrived with queer-friendly clients. My book toured, inspiring stories. Dad's involvement deepened. Fishing trips, just the three. Learned a lot, he'd say. Full acceptance. Close enough. Extended family thawed. Barbecues, cautious inclusivity. Jake's boyfriend introduced, normalizing. Society evolved slowly. Pride events larger, laws progressing. We advocated, voices amplified. But scars remained. Anniversaries triggered memories. That rainy night, confessions, exiles, moral reckonings. Did we choose right? Betrayals, pains, necessary for truth? Mark's reflection. I'd do it again. Mine nuanced. Growth from ashes. Community impact. Mentoring youth. Sharing lessons. Love costs but pays dividends. Final twist. Dad's memoir snippet. Praising our resilience. Unity. Yet questions linger. In a world of prejudices, was our path ethical or selfish? The story ends, but debate begins. Was pursuing this forbidden love, despite the familial and societal wreckage, ultimately the right choice, or a moral failing that prioritized personal desires over collective harmony?